Alright, so the DT990s, and aren't these things just popular? Why are they popular? We all know why. Wait, hold on a second. How about I get my Ducky 1-2 Mini, my DT990s? I might be able to go pro now. Oh wait, I might have to dye my hair. Wait, I have no hair to dye. Son of a gun. I guess I can't go pro. Hey everyone, Techni here, finally with the review of the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pros. Any is out there that have been waiting for this a long time and requesting, and I've been telling you, hey, yes, we're going to be reviewing them. I sincerely apologize for the wait. And why it really took me so long to get to this review right here is I have been testing the heck out of these in the background. This is my first time using a pair of open back headphones. My primary gaming headset or headphones is the Audio-Technica ATH M50X right here. So I do use a lot of headphones for gaming rather than gaming headsets. It's actually my preferred method right there. But again, I test and use so many gaming headphones as well, or headsets. I'm going to mix it up through this entire video. But the DT990s were really something different for me to use. Number one being open back right there. But as far as them being a 250 ohm headset that I'm using here, again, two very different things that I've ever used before. So again, I really wanted to get some quality time with them and really be able to narrow it down rather than just slapping them on and let you know what I thought. Alright, so before diving into the headset right here, again, like I just stated, I have the 250 ohm headset here. I'm not going to dive into some rabbit hole talking about ohms. I'm no audiophile again by any means. There's plenty of channels out there that you can really dive into to find out more about ohms. But anyways, the lower ohm you can use on like any sort of portable device or console or anything like that, right? When you get into the higher ohms, the 250 or plus to 600 and whatnot, you're going to need an amp to actually push them. If you plug, say for example, this 250 ohm into your controller, switch, or phone or something, they're going to be incredibly quiet, like very quiet, almost unable to hear, you know what I mean? You're not going to be able to crank them up. But when you put them into an external amp or sound card on your PC right there, wow, they are going to shine. And I did test the DT990s on a Sound Blaster G6 right here, and then the Sound Blaster AE9. This is my primary sound card in my PC that I use every single time. I use the G6 mainly for console, but the G6 uses across any single platform. Very easy to use, very awesome. Fair price too. I think it's right around 120 bucks. This thing is incredibly awesome. But again, if you kind of want to get that further push right there, the AE9 is fantastic for the PC, but a little expensive as well. But alright, so let's go on and dive right into the headset review here. And number one, where we got to start, comfort, right? The clamping force is more or less a medium right there. It's not light. I can move around. They don't move. The ear pads were a little bit firmer, as comfortable as they are, this velour pads right here, but I didn't know really where to go with them because they were kind of firm. Again, straight out the box, you're kind of like, wow, these aren't very comfortable. But give them some time, give them a few weeks, a month to break in and everything, and let me tell you what, they really just start forming and sinking into the shape of your head, and they get incredibly comfortable. Now, one really cool thing that caught me by surprise with this design of headphone, we've seen this a lot with a lot of HyperX, the new Logitech headsets. Take a look. So again, we got it right here. Look at this swivel we have. So it's moving around up there. As you can see, we can move it out and then in right there. So with this headset, I don't get a lick of pressure. Like usually with this type of build, I get that pressure point right up here on my jawline. I do not with this headset, and that just really shocked me. Again, when I was looking online, and it kind of held me back for a while, I was like, I'm not a very big fan of headphones or headsets with that type of design right there, you know? But with this having a little bit of swivel right there, wow, just perfect. Now talking about that swivel and where it's getting it from, number one, the headband up here, as you can see, it's kind of like that rubberish plastic up there, plenty of padding go across the whole thing, but you do have these little snaps, and you can just snap it off right here, which is nice to clean, or you can go buy yourself a replacement headband, right? But anyways, you can pop it off, pull it off right here, your wire gets exposed as you can see, so be careful right there. But as you can see, when we push it up, you can see where you have that little bit of movement right in there. Really cool to have that. Now there's two other things I love about comfort on this headset. Again, kind of complement the plushness of the headband and the ear cups once they break in, of course, is that this headset is incredibly lightweight, and I absolutely love that because we're all gaming for some pretty long sessions sometimes, you know what I mean? And when you put these on your head, you pretty much forget about them. They do not bother you. Again, no pressure points, nothing, extremely lightweight, nice plush ear cups once they break in and everything. But the other great thing about them is, again, being open back, they are incredibly breathable and your ears very rarely, if ever, start sweating. So as far as comfort, I give them a complete win. They are incredibly comfortable, really took me by surprise. Alright, so next up, let's get into the build right here. Again, as you all saw when I took off that headband right there, that wire kind of dangles. So that's kind of concerning. I would have liked it to be into that bracket and just kind of held on right there so we don't get that accidental tug. But anyways, we've seen this in a lot of headsets again, so just be careful with it. But now also speaking about the wires, the wire going into the headset right here is attached. You can't remove it, which is quite a stinker. You have this little crinkle stretchy cable right here, and again it's attached in there. So if it runs over your chair, you get it snagged on something, you either got it gonna be repaired or your headset's just kaput, you know what I mean? And also, this thing is kind of chunky if it just sit on your desk. I always got to take it, route it behind my keyboard right there, and then just use that little extension. So that's kind of a stinker. I would have liked different options, and I would have liked it to be removable. But as far as durability, I feel like they're incredibly durable right here. You might hear a little crinking coming up from the top right there, but again, that's where that swivel's coming through right there. You just have the metal over there touching the metal of the headband. Again, we're going into the plastic brackets over here and everything, so just be cautious whenever you're setting them down. Don't slam them down or accidentally drop them. But as far as build and durability, I think they feel incredibly solid. Alright, so now let's get into the good part, and that's going to be sound. And I'm going to leave both of these up on my table right here, the G6 and the AE9, just so you all know what I tested them on. And again, with the 250 ohm, you are going to need some sort of amp to push these guys. Alright, so before I really dive deep into the sound right here, again, like I stated before, I don't want anyone to think I'm an audiophile or me trying to claim I'm an audiophile by any means. I'm a gamer. I play games and I like good sound, and I test a bunch of headsets. Alright, so let's start off with talking about them being open back here. Again, this was my first time ever using an open back pair of headphones, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. I've watched plenty of other reviews and read about them, and I'm just like, they're just speaking gibberish to me. I'm like, man, I don't understand what you're talking about. So I'm going to keep this simple here for you guys and myself. But anyways, as far as open back, you might hear a lot of people say, oh wow, the sound just sounds very just open and very distant and very clear, right? And talking about that sound being open, what I always expected, as like I'm hearing these people saying, oh wow, it just sounds like a very open sound stage and all that, you know, I'm like, well, is that like surround sound? Is it sounding like everything's coming from behind me and around me? That's just what I expect. When you talk open, I'm thinking, hey, well, the sound's coming from everywhere around me. But it's really not like that. It's not really like a surround sound or anything like that. What it's more or less like is, say if you got some speakers on in your room. That's what these sound like. If you got speakers in front of you coming at you, that's the kind of sound you get. It's really clear, nothing really closed into you, like say a closed back pair of headphones where that bass and all that sound is trapped in your ears. Again, everything's just right there, very open, very clear. Again, kind of take the example as if you got two speakers right here and you're listening to music. That's what they're going to sound like. But in my opinion, again, as a gamer, I mean, I listen to tons of music as well, but I want to focus on the gaming side of them right now. And they just weren't very immersive to me. Like again, I primarily used closed back headphones. Again, the ATH M50X right here. I highly recommend you trying these out. They're stinking awesome. Anyways, back to the 990s right here. Again, they were so open, very natural. The highs were very pronounced in this headset. Very, very potent highs. Almost sometimes unbearable. Like, you ever been playing and you're in the group right there before your game starts and say like Call of Duty or whatever in that lobby, and some guy's playing his music in the background and just hollering? Holy smokes, you're gonna want to take these things and just throw them out the window. And that also goes within to the gameplay right there. I mean, the highs are incredibly pronounced in this headset. Yes, you do still have your lows and your mids, and everything's really pronounced right there, but the highs really, really shine right here. And if any of you have watched any of my other headset reviews, you all know I prefer highs over lows or anything, because you just like to hear those footsteps and all those nice little details of the wind and the leaves just shuffling of the uniform, you know what I mean? And you do get all that with this. But again, sometimes it's just a little bit too much. So what I honestly caught myself doing quite often with the G6 or the AE9 right here is pressing the SBX profile. And on these, I don't want to go too into that, but what that is on here, it gets it kind of like a gaming profile, like first person shooter or Call of Duty or something like that. And what it does, it just brings out some more of the bass and just kind of, I'd say flattens it out a little bit, reduces those highs a little bit. You know, with using this, again, I've always caught myself pressing that XBS button just to kind of bring out that kind of gaming immersion closed back headphone style. All right, so now let's go on and flip this around. Let's talk about music. And this is where this headset or headphones really shine and came to life for me. Now, I listen to a wide array of music, from hip hop to indie rock to some alternative rock and some indie electro right there. But let me tell you one band that these just really shined at. One of my favorite bands as well, and that is the White Stripes. Hey, black, white, and red. Great minds think alike, right? But now, as far as listening to White Stripes, any of you has heard him before. He's got a really nice, high-pitched, just awesome voice, right? When he leads into that guitar, I mean, some of the best sounding guitar ever. And then you got the simple drums just right here in the background. And that's really where this headset really shined. I mean, I've seen the White Stripes so many times live. And that's honestly where I can put this. It sounded like I was sitting right there at another show. The guitar just really shined. His voice came to life. And you still had the drums in the background. Again, it sounded just like a live show. And it sounded incredibly awesome. But now when we swing it over to some hip hop right there, it just didn't really work for me. I've been listening to a lot of Atmosphere, and it's just kind of distant. It's not very immersive. When I listen to my hip hop, I like to feel it. You know what I mean? I like everything to be right there, not muddy or punchy like a set of old beats or something like that. You know what I mean? But I like my bass to be right there. I like to really feel like I'm into the music. You know what I mean? And I don't get that at all with these. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is sound here. Not to keep harping on sound. I sincerely apologize for going on and on about this, but I was really curious about it, and I hope I'm able to help you out as well. Again, talking open back right here, I was just really concerned. Like, my son's room is right across from here, and when I game, I like cranking it up. Again, I like that immersion right there. And with them being open back, you're going to get some sound bleed. Number one, you got the velour ear cups, so sound's going to be coming through there. And then with them being open back, the sound's going to be coming through there. Now, it's not super loud. It's kind of just a mild tone right there. But yeah, if you're sitting on a train or next to somebody, they are going to hear exactly what you're listening to. And again, with my son being across the room, yeah, they can hear it, but it's not really like punchy loud. The other thing about them being open back is you hear everything around you, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. You like being aware you're surrounded, which I love. Again, you get that closed back, you're kind of lost into your game. You don't know what's happening in the world around you. With the open back, I can pretty much hear everything. You know, I hear my PC when it fires up with the fans. I got the dryer running across the house, and I can hear it. Alright, so talking sound right there. Sorry I went into it a little bit deep right there. Again, I just wanted to give you my experience. And again, I was trying to pinpoint it down myself. And I think that's the best way I can put it there. You know, again, coming from a user listening to music in gaming, not necessarily an audiophile, but again, a gamer. And where I got to put it is really personal preference. Do you want that really natural, again, open, where speakers sound like in front of you, right? And that high-pitched sound. Where I would recommend this and where I would class this is, say, if you're a really competitive gamer, any sort of FPS game, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Rainbow Six, wow, that's where this will shine, Rainbow Six, because you're going to catch those footprints or those shots off in the distance or something around the corner, you know, especially with Rainbow Six, the shuffling of the uniform of the guy on the second floor above you, you know what I mean? That's where I'd put this. But as far as everyday gaming, you know, casual Joe like me that likes to get really immersed into the game and feel and really, you know, get locked into the game, that's where I go into like the Audio Technicas right here, because I'm closed into it, all the sounds locked in there, and it just sounds very immersive. So alright, the DT990 Pros right here, 250 ohm, and where do I class them? Again, as I stated throughout the entire video, complete personal preference. You gotta go through the video and listen to those things right there. And if it's what you want, it's going to suit you right there. Don't buy them because some other pros using them and think they're just going to be fantastic. Again, because this is going to be a complete personal preference. If that's what you're looking for in a headset, hey, you're going to get it right there. Again, looking at 250 ohms, don't forget you're going to need something to push them right there. That G6 is fantastic, by the way. but this is probably, I know I've reviewed many other headsets before and I said, oh hey, it's personal preference as far as the fit and this, that, and the other, you know. This is a complete 100% personal preference headset right here, or headphones. But please let me know down in the comments what you think about the 990 Pros right here, or if you use them and which ohm version you use and what you think about them as well. Because again, I'm just really curious. This is more of a conversation topic, right? Not like, oh hey, you need this or you gotta have this, you know. I'm really curious just to hear what you think about them. Again, I will be reviewing more Beyerdynamic headphones coming up in the future, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for those as well. But hey, thank you so much for stopping by and watching my review on the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pro 250 ohm version right here. Sorry I rambled a little bit much in it, you know. I just kind of wanted to give someone a true like gamer's perspective on it, not necessarily an audiophile perspective on it. So I hope I was able to help you out, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. Hey, I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.